Neven, no one likes a dry turkey. How do I keep it from going this way on the day, please?
Yeah, I totally agree. There's nothing worse than that. So first of all, when you're cooking your turkey, bring it to room temperature. What that means, Alison, is take it out of the fridge half an hour before you're going to do that. Into the cavity, the center of the bird, I'm going to put in a little bit of orange, some herbs. Thyme is a great herb. And then literally put that onto what we call a VRAC roaster. So it's a little roasting tray that the turkey will sit on, some vegetables at the bottom, a little bit of carrot, a little bit of onion, some garlic there, and some water. And that's going to create your juices for your gravy, and it's going to steam the kind of turkey in the oven. Now, before the turkey goes into the oven, get some lovely butter at room temperature, a little bit of grated orange and lemon zest, fresh thyme again. I'm going to repeat myself a bit with that herb. Spread that all over the turkey breast, and some smoky bacon or streaky rashers, and then into the oven. And 190, you give it 20 minutes per pound, plus 20 minutes. So there's a great tip on safe food about cooking the turkey. So that's really important. So you keep basting it, Alison. So what that means is with a spoon, you spoon over the juices, you cover the turkey for the first couple of hours. Well, for the last hour, actually, you remove the tin foil to get a lovely golden brown colour. So basting means you get a big spoon on those juices, because turkey's a very lean meat, and you want it succulent, you want it dry, and you want it cooked through, but you don't want it overcooked at the same time. So about a 5 kilo bird will take probably about 3.5, maybe a little bit over 3.5 hours to cook. Okay. And that's a whole turkey, whereas I'll be doing the buttermilk brine turkey. So this is a recipe just for your listeners. If you're going for like a breast of turkey, which works really, really good, easy to carve, quick to cook, what I do is marinate it in buttermilk for 2 days with some garlic, a little bit of sliced orange, and some rosemary. And then you lift it out of the buttermilk. So you store it in the fridge. You should have said that. Lift it out of the buttermilk, dry it off with some kitchen paper. The same butter that I spoke to you about, smoky bacon, into the oven. And that will take about 2 hours, 20 minutes, depending on the size of the turkey breast.
I suppose we ask you this every year, but it's to refresh people's minds. Some of the top tips so that Christmas dinner isn't stressful on people, on the cooks.
Yeah, so don't overcomplicate it. I mean, like when you think of turkey, you think of it like a big chicken, and it just takes longer to cook, and you want it moist and succulent. And we'll go through a couple of little tips. Don't do too many side dishes. Keep your starters very simple, like some nice sourdough bread with some lovely Irish goat's cheese. There's beautiful chutneys out there. You can do lovely serrano ham and parma ham and different things like that. And, so don't overcomplicate it, because you want to focus on, I suppose, the main event, the main course, and whatever dessert you're having. Do as much prep as possible. Like for me, I'll have my mashed potatoes done a day or two ahead. I'll have my vegetables all done. My ham, I'm going to cook it now over the next day or two, and then I'm just going to glaze it Christmas morning. I'll have the turkey cooked Christmas Eve. So that's the secret, is to be as organized as you can. My stuffing, I have that made already, because that's going to keep. So I do a lovely cranberry. I toast some pine nuts. I put some dried cranberries into that, and then some apricots. So it's a lovely kind of fruity with stuffing with some pine nuts, and then some lovely thyme. And I love stuffing, so I do, and it's great. So it is. I think everyone will enjoy it.
This person sent in a note saying that they cut their spuds the night before and they turned brown, like on them. Like, I guess that's oxygen around it, isn't it? So she wanted to start all over again on Christmas Day. She was a little bit worried. What went wrong? How do I store my veg?
Okay, well, what I'll be doing Christmas Eve, I'll have my potatoes peeled, and I'll keep them in some cold water in the fridge, or in your, because your fridge is kind of busy. The most important things you store in your fridge is your high risk, like if you're having any seafood, if you're having the turkey, the ham. So keep that. The potatoes just in cold water out in the back kitchen or in a cool area. And what you do then is just literally, you can steam that for your mashed potato Christmas Eve, and then put in some lovely butter, put in a little bit of milk, and just heat that Christmas Day. For the roasties, what I like to do, Alison, is cook them Christmas morning. So you can par cook them or boil them if you want, a little bit of salted water, and then just with some duck fat or goose fat or even beef dripping. And there's a brilliant Irish butcher called James Whelan who made beef dripping really, really fashionable and delicious. You probably don't enjoy it, Alison, because I know you're vegetarian, but it is delicious. And you can enjoy the roast potatoes with some lovely Irish rapeseed oil. So some garlic, a little bit of rosemary, and then into the oven. So while your turkey is resting, because it needs to rest for a good 40-50 minutes thereabouts, covered in tin foil, to let the juices relax. You don't want the dry bird. And we're going to talk about turkey in a minute. But for the roast potatoes, then they can go into the oven. So whole cloves of garlic, some rosemary, a little bit of thyme, and that's something that you can do. Have your potatoes covered in water the night before, and then just literally par cook them for about 4 minutes, so that they're still raw. You toss them in the oil or whatever kind of fat you're using, and then into the oven, good hot oven, and beautiful golden crispy floury roast potatoes.
Weekend breakfast
with Alison Curtis,
playing the music you love.
Today FM.
It all happens here.
Today.